What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here with another offseason rebuild, and today we'll be doing the Super Bowl champions. Yesterday we did the team that lost in the Super Bowl, that being the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, the Eagles basically dominated the Super Bowl, dominated a lot of the season. They only lost 3 different times. So let's just go ahead, jump in, and do a Philadelphia Eagles offseason rebuild here in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 85% of the people that have watched my videos lately aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall into that 85% and want to change that as we're on the road to 10,000 subs, that'd be greatly appreciated. I was actually a little flabbergasted by seeing 85%. Pretty wild. But with that all being said, Philadelphia Eagles, the team that I highly despise as a Commanders fan, but credit where credit is due. They're a damn good team, and they have a damn good roster, and they're probably the most complete team in the NFL. So, yeah, I got to give my flowers where, when I have to, and the Eagles definitely deserve them. So, let's go ahead and start off with the negotiation stage. So, there's no world where Zach Bond will be let go. It says he doesn't want to come back, but I think, obviously, Zach Bond extremely worked out for them, so I would imagine he is back. Josh Sweat was getting some MVP vote or MVP nods yesterday in the Super Bowl. But of course, went to Jalen Hurts. You have Milton Williams, Mekhi Becton, Jordan Davis is a 5th-year option, Isaiah Rodgers, Kenneth Gainwell, Jahan Dotson, which is just a 5th-year option. I don't imagine the Eagles picked that up just because they didn't use him like that much. Of course, he had almost the first Super Bowl or almost the first touchdown of the Super Bowl yesterday. But let's go ahead and start off with Zach Bond. Like I said, this guy is a must resign from Philadelphia. He was phenomenal for them, so let's make sure he is highly compensated and he will return, which is a great start. Josh Sweat also, I know the Eagles, I believe, tried to trade him before the season started, but I do think I'm also going to try to attempt to keep him, so he will stick around. And we have a bunch of cap space, but I do imagine eventually that money will run out. Milton Williams, I'm probably going to let go. We could probably just draft one and, be a little bit cheaper there. So Mekhi Becton, could also let him walk, but we could go ahead and bring him back too. So really shouldn't be too expensive, and he will stick around. And then last but not least, Jordan Davis. I'm not going to accept that 5th-year option. And then Isaiah Rodgers, I'm just going to go ahead. Well, Darius Slay, there was a lot of talk about him, I believe, before the Super Bowl started that he wasn't sure if he'd be brought back as an Eagle. But since we do have him, I guess I will keep him around. I know Madden cap space doesn't absolutely reflect what real life is, which kind of is the annoying part about doing Madden offseason rebuilds sometimes, or just rebuilds in general, because sometimes I feel like the cap space absolutely lies to you, and that's not how much the team has in real life. But let's take a look at the lineup after we have taken care of the resigning stage. So, of course, we're going to be looking at a damn good team. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Jordan Mailata, Dickerson, Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and then Lane Johnson, Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and then defensively, we have Reed Blankenship, Josh Sweat, Nicholas Morrow, Zach Bond, Nolan Smith. You have Bryce Huff as well, along with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. And then we can bring in a right end. But Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay obviously looks pretty good as our cornerback room, and the CJ Gardner-Johnson. So yeah, a lot to like, of course, about this Eagles defense, and we can continue to build on it. So let's just go ahead, jump straight into free agency. And let's see if we can add a couple of pieces. Again, I don't think I'm going to spend a bunch of money because I do believe this team's cap space is not as good as Madden is reflecting, but I guess I could be wrong in that department. So we'll see what we're able to snag in free agency, though, to add to this already scary team. I'm actually going to be going after 2 Chiefs free agents here, being Nick Bolton and Charles. I don't know how to exactly say that last name, but Nick Bolton and Charles as our 2 free agency additions, and then we'll just draft the rest. Obviously, Howie Roseman has made a killing in the draft, so we're going to try to continue to do that. But let's see if we get these 2 guys to sign. And we do get both of them to sign, so that's only going to bolster this defense even further, which is a damn good defense, as we all know. But I don't want to spend even more money because, again, I do think the money is eventually going to run out, and I think our cap space might be in a crazy situation here soon. So I'm going to save on to some money, and we'll just go draft and continue to build through the draft, because that's what they've done a great job at doing. So we'll be picking at number 32, and honestly, going to this draft, I'm not looking for anything in specific. I'm going to be going best player available, what I see would be, the best fit for us to take. So we'll see who is available on the board for us, as we'll be picking at number 32. So let's see what we got here on the board. So obviously, we're not taking a quarterback. Probably don't need to take a running back either. We could take Isaiah Bond. I just took him in the Chiefs video yesterday, but I do not mind adding another wide receiver, especially if we're not going to keep Jahan Dotson going forward. Could also draft another corner, but obviously this team is in good position with Cooper DeJean and also Quinyon Mitchell going forward. But adding another corner definitely is not the worst idea in the world. We could also take another O-lineman. We could take, interior offensive line. But honestly, I think I might settle. We could take another end, which we only signed Charles, but I don't mind the idea of adding another guy. So I am going to go ahead and do that. We could have taken Isaiah Bond, but since I took him yesterday, I'm going to take JT instead here. So that'll be the first pick we take. Number 72 in true value, drafted number 32, but he's going to probably be an immediate starter or, rotate, of course. So very happy with that pick, and we'll see what falls to us in the round 2 slot. So obviously this team has also been aggressive in trades. There's a potential they could, in theory, trade for Myles Garrett, which sounds insane, but I'm not going to do that today. And look at that. Isaiah Bond actually fell to round 2. So don't mind if I do. Isaiah Bond will absolutely be the pick. So we have our Jahan Dotson replacement long term. So number 43 in true value, drafted number 64. Really can't be too upset with that. 98 speed is awesome to see. And now let's go to round 3. And we'll make this last pick here and let the assistant GM... or actually we have 2 round 3s. Nice. Don't know if they actually have 2 round 3s in real life, but I'm going to assume they do. So let's see what we got. So we could take Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee to back up Saquon, which I don't hate the idea of. Also could take Jason Marshall, Mason Taylor, Ollie Gordon, Judkins, Jackson Dart. A lot of good options here. Could take Jamon Johnson, Ernest Green. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Judkins, though. Or do we take Dylan Sampson? I do kind of like the idea of bringing another running back with Saquon. Obviously, Saquon's phenomenal. So, but speed being elite on Dylan Sampson definitely gives me... yeah, because we don't have Kenneth Gainwell anymore. I didn't re-sign him, so having another backup running back could be important. We are going to go ahead and draft Dylan Sampson here. We have 2 round 3s. If we didn't have a second round 3, I probably wouldn't have done that. But I'm going to do that regardless. And now, for our last 3rd rounder, let's see what we got. So Kansas City just picked, and we'll see what we have now available to us. So we have a free safety. We have Jackson Dart, Ollie Gordon. So we obviously just took a running back, so we're not going to take another one. Could take another corner just in case. Darius Slay is gone here soon, so I do think that's where we'll go. Jason Marshall Jr. will probably be the pick here. Speed is good, and he'll be another corner for the depth chart going forward. So that will be our draft. This one may have been a bad pick, but honestly, overall, it was a solid offseason nonetheless. So let's go ahead and simulate to the end of this, and I'll see you guys with the lineup for year number 1, where obviously the expectation is probably to go back-to-back. Maybe the Eagles are the next dynasty because it's a damn good team, man. So let's see what we got. So here is your lineup going into year number 1. So it's Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Dylan Sampson, A.J. Brown, Jahan Dotson. But like I said, Isaiah Bond, I'd prefer to just play over Jahan Dotson right away. Devontae Smith, Goddard, Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton, Jurgens, Dickerson, and Jordan Mailata. Defensively, we have Reed Blankenship, Josh Sweat, Nick Bolton, Zach Bond, Nolan Smith, TJ Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay. I also have a couple D-tackle, or I guess Broughton, and then we have JT waiting in the shadows as well. So obviously a very talented looking roster, and the expectation is to go back to the Super Bowl once again. We're actually opening up the season against the Detroit Lions, which I do think is possible. Adam Schefter tweeted out a list on what teams the Eagles could maybe open up with next season, and I do think Lions or Commanders, maybe even Cowboys, would probably be the game that kicks off the NFL season next year. We shall see. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1, where we should be in the playoffs, and we should be going on a deep playoff run. It feels like the Eagles always make the Super Bowl when I do a rebuild, so that's my expectation going into this season as well. And just like that, at the end of the season, we actually get the first seed in the NFC at 14-3. And not that this is relevant, but speaking of Philadelphia, Jahlil Okafor, obviously former 76ers lottery pick, hasn't played the NBA in nearly 4 years, and he's signing a 10-day contract with the Pacers. So shout out to Jahlil Okafor. Again, that has nothing to do with football, but it does have to do with Philadelphia. So let's take a look at these player stats. So offensively, we're 4th in the NFL, which is fantastic. And then defensively, we'd have to hope we're top 5 too, but top 7 defensive, 7th in the NFL, which is nice. So 33-12 from Jalen Hurts. You had 15 touchdowns, 1,400 yards from Saquon Barkley, 1,000 for Devontae Smith, 900 from Goddard, 800 from A.J. Brown, 500 from Bond, and then 400 from Saquon Barkley. Defensively, sacks-wise, you had 8 from Jalen Carter, 5.5 from Josh Sweat, 5 from Charles, 5 from Jordan Davis, 4 from Nolan Smith, 2 from Zach Bond, and 1.5 from Nick Bolton, 1 from Blankenship, 1 from DeJean, and 1 from our rookie as well. 5 interceptions from Darius Slay, 3 from Quinyon Mitchell, and 2 for Cooper DeJean. 1 from Josh Sweat, 1 from Nolan Smith, and 1 from Zach Bond. So let's go ahead, jump. Well, I guess we don't even need to jump into wildcard weekend. We just need to advance divisional because we have a bye here. So let's see. It's been a while since I've had a bye, which is nice. And now we get to play the Minnesota Vikings. So I don't know who their quarterback is, but it probably isn't Sam Darnold. It's probably JJ McCarthy, obviously. So let's jump in as the Vikings will be heading to the link. And let's see if we can't go back-to-back with Super Bowl champions. It is, in fact, JJ McCarthy starting for the Minnesota Vikings here. So obviously expectations are to beat the Vikings here and move on to division, or to the NFC Championship rather, as, yeah, our offense... Well, the Vikings are keeping up pace with us, though. So defense is allowing points, but our offense keeps scoring. And we get a big interception from CJ Gardner-Johnson, as I was saying. And now we're up 28-14. So, and we got another one from Zach Bond this time, which is awesome. And that will be all she wrote. So we win divisional weekend, and we're on to the NFC Championship, which is awesome. So let's go see who's awaiting us there. It would be interesting to see if it was like the Cowboys, Commanders, Lions. Like, we'll see who's there. This NFC Championship is actually more interesting than the other 3 team names, of course, or 3 teams that I named, because we get an NFC Championship rematch against the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, the last time these teams played, Brock Purdy couldn't throw the ball to finish the game, but we're up 3-0, so that's a good start, and now we're up 10-0. But hopefully we can beat them with no excuses this time for Brock Purdy and the Niners. So far, so good. It is 17-0, 24-0, and now they get a touchdown plus 2-point conversion, and they're going to try that again. If they somehow get the ball back, that'd be wild, and they do not. So just like that, we're moving on to the Super Bowl after beating the Niners in the NFC Championship. No excuses this time. It is time to see if we can go back-to-back. So here goes nothing. Out of all the teams I expected to potentially see in the Super Bowl, 4 out of the AFC, this team would not have been one of those teams I would have thought, especially this early into the Madden simulation. Maybe years down the line when they build the team up, but we're playing the Tennessee Titans. I'm assuming they drafted Cam Ward. I'm pretty sure they did. They usually do. I wasn't really paying attention, though. And I don't know. It didn't show their quarterback, but I'm assuming we should be able to beat this team. Like I said, I don't think Tennessee really belongs here. This might be too early for them, as they're up 7-0. Oh, okay. Never mind. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It's 3-14. And now let's see. Are the Titans really going to beat us here in the Super Bowl? We're not putting up points against them. So the Titans defense must be all that. So we're not going to go back-to-back. We're going to lose to the Tennessee Titans, only putting up 6 points, which is just maddening. That's crazy. I can't believe that. I thought we had probably a free win, and I was dead wrong. Putting up 6 points against the Titans is pretty wild. I mean, they have some good defensive players, but was not expecting that. Only 6 points is crazy from this offense. But I guess it's back to the drawing board. We will not be going back-to-back, but we can still try to get at least one more, obviously, in this video with how much talent we have. But man, I'm disappointed by that result. That sucks, and that stings. So after losing the Super Bowl, we're walking into this offseason with about $60 million in cap space. So we'll see who's all a free agent. So Jalen Carter, which of course that's a 5th-year option, which we will accept. Same thing with Nolan Smith. We'll accept that one as well. And then Reed Blankenship, I probably want to bring him back too to keep him. I want to keep this team intact. Like, I think losing the Titans was a little fluky. That feels really weird that that's what happened. I will keep Jordan Davis as well. Obviously, I could have accepted his 5th-year option. I didn't. But this is probably going to be all of our money out the window with all of these re-signs. Nakobe Dean's also free agent. Dotson, we're going to let go. Slay, I'll probably let go at 35. Cam Jurgens, also a free agent. Probably will attempt to bring him back. But Dallas Goedert will bring in. And then Nakobe Dean, probably let go. Jahan Dotson, Darius Slay, going to let walk. Cam Jurgens, Kenny Pickett, Grant Call. Okay, so Cam Jurgens, I mean, there could be potentially another center to go after, so maybe we go a different direction there, but I'll sign him to a deal anyway, and he says free agency is better for him, so I guess that's fine. Slay does want to be brought back, but I just think with, you know, obviously Cooper DeJean and also Quinyon Mitchell, we can move forward with those 2 guys, and Slay is 35 at this point. Like I said, he already kind of talked about how he may not be in Philadelphia next year. We'll see if that ends up being the case. We'll see. $25 in cap space, though. And we'll kind of see if any dev traits have gone up. But, man, losing the Super Bowl like that to the Titans stings quite a bit. So, we also lost our right tackle. Lane Johnson did retire on us, so that's going to be important to replace, too. But Smith, Isaiah Bond, Saquon, like, we're not going to mess with any of the weapons on offense. Defensively, we don't need to mess with anything here either, honestly. Maybe another corner would not hurt, which Slay, of course, was able to be brought back. Maybe we still do. But, yeah. I mean, this team is already looking really good, of course, on paper right now. But let's get a free agency. $25 million in cap space. We also could be aggressive and trade for something, but let's see what's a free agent. So, Kirby Joseph being interested in coming to Philadelphia is definitely crazy, but we definitely need to invest in the O-line, I think, a little bit more than, you know, going up to Kirby Joseph, although it would be awesome to bring him in. we got to get an O-line here, and Zach Tom could probably be the perfect replacement for Lane Johnson. That's going to be all my money gone, obviously, but probably would be worth it to keep this O-line, keep Saquon protected. So feel good about that. Iquanu, do we even have a good center other than Cam Jurgens here? So Jurgens is still out here. We probably need to draft a center in the draft then, which is totally fine. So that's probably going to be our only addition, which is basically just Zach Tom to replace the right tackle position. But that's fine. So let's go ahead, head to the draft, and we'll see if we can keep building this team up the way it is through the draft, which I'm sure we will be able to. So picking number 31 this year and not 32. So let's see if there's a talented center in this draft for us to take. So we got Elliott Washington going before we're about to pick. Another corner also wouldn't be a bad proposition. We have TJ Parker, Alex. We have Kendrick Law, Traore, Zachariah Branch, Aller. So is there, I mean, we got to look at the center positions to see if there even is one. I don't know if there would be one. So the first potential center is round 2, round 3 with Addison McNichols. So I'm going to see if he falls to us. We can maybe look at one of these guys too when we're there, but probably won't take one right now. I'm going to wait till round 2. So who do we want here? I said I would want a corner, but there may not be a good corner to take here either. Is there a good one? So we have Avion Terrell out of Clemson, McCoy, Pond. So let's see what Terrell's looking like. B-man coverage, B press, C to F zone. Speed is good. Or do I take another end? I don't know. I guess I am going to take Terrell here as the best corner in the draft potentially. So welcome to Philadelphia. Never 70 true value, only normal dev. Speed's a 92 though, so that's pretty solid, but needed to replace Darius Slay. And we did just that. Well, he won't fill Darius Slay's shoes, don't get me wrong, but definitely needed to. So centers are, let's see, I think there's still going to be some, hopefully. We will take a center in round 2 regardless. So round 2, center is what we're looking for, as we have wide receiver Eugene Wilson, but we have Rice down here. But let's go look at the other centers because they may have been taken, but we'll see if, one's still available to us. So Brailsford out of Alabama actually looks pretty damn good. B, impact blocking, A, pass block, B, awareness, and then speed is great. So I will go ahead and take Parker here in round 2 to replace Cam Jurgens. Number 78 true value, draft number 63, so pretty happy with that pick. And now we can go to round 3 and make our last selection here. Assuming we don't have an extra, looks like we have an extra round 3 again, so never mind. So we have 2 round 3s. Let's see what we got. Ooh, not what I meant to click. So our second round 3, we'll see what we are. Sorry, our first round 3, we have Torian York. We have another corner, another tackle, which wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Darius Taylor, free safety. Another center, we're not going to do that. Run stop at Ohio State. Sonny Styles, B block shedding. Speed is elite. Okay, 8. I'm convinced this is who we're going to take. So Sonny Styles, welcome to Philadelphia. Number 58 in true value, draft 73. Really solid pick. Not looking for any particular position. Once I saw elite speed, though, I was sold. And he has very good coverage, too. So very happy about that. Fits what we need. And then last but not least, for this last round 3 pick for us, we have York, but we just took a linebacker. Do we take another safety, maybe, potentially? Or do we take another corner? What about Delane out of Virginia Tech? B press, D zone, though. Speed is great. I don't know if I can double down on corner. D zone. Man coverage is a C. I don't know about that one. So we could take a left tackle, PJ Williams at SMU. Continue to build on this O-line. So yeah, we'll probably just take Mr. PJ Williams, and he'll be, wow, what a horrible pick. I think I've missed out on the last 2 round 3 picks, but you win some and you lose some. I mean, this team isn't going to need him to start, so I'm not too discouraged by that. But we need a bounce back after losing to the Titans in the Super Bowl. So we can't go repeat anymore, but we damn sure can win, what, 3 in the last 10 years, maybe? If that's what yeah, 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. So that will be the game plan, and we'll see if we can make that happen. All right, so the lineup for year number 2 is looking like this. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Samson, A.J. Brown, Isaiah Bond, and Devontae Smith. Obviously, offensive line got a little bit better with Zach Tom. I mean, Lane Johnson was damn good, too. So he's just basically replacing Lane Johnson. Dallas Goedert, Ferguson out of Oregon, I believe. Defensively, Styles is going to fit in right away, which is awesome. JT is going to start over Charles now, which is great. Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, Ringo. And then Terrell obviously is not going to be a starter, which sucks. We may have missed out on that pick, but it is what it is. I expect to see you guys in the playoffs again, and I expect to maybe have the first seed again on our hands. We'll see, but hopefully we have a damn good season once again. And this time, go win the damn Super Bowl and bring home another Lombardi trophy to Philly. So we finished out the season 13-4, and we didn't even win our division. So who won our division? Dallas? No, the Giants went 14-3, and Dallas went 12-5 and missed the freaking playoffs. That's actually insane. How do you miss the playoffs with 12 wins? That's crazy. And then San Francisco's the team we're playing, and they went 7-10. Yeah, that would be wild. I wonder if the NFL would really look into things. Like, I get it, though, because it makes rivalries special. But, dude, I mean, if you're Dallas and you went 12-5, missed the playoffs, and San Francisco went 7-10 and made it, that would be disgusting. That would suck really badly. But I guess that's kind of the talk of, you know, how the seeding went this year with the Lions and Vikings or whatever. So offensively, second in the NFL, and defensively 18th in the NFL. So 33-7 from Jalen Hurts. Saquon, 16 touchdowns, 12 from Hurts, and then 5 from Dylan Sampson. Receiving wise, Devontae Smith led the way with 13. AJ Brown is back to a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Isaiah Bond, 5 touchdowns, 4 from Goddard, and then 5 from Saquon receiving as well. Sacks wise, 11 from Jalen Carter, 9 from JT, so making an impact, which is great. 6.5 from Josh Sweat, 4 from Zach Bond, and 4 from Nolan Smith. 3 interceptions for Gardner Johnson, 3 from Mitchell, 2 from Zach Bond, and 2 from Bolden, 2 from Cooper DeJean, and 2 from Reed Blankenship. So I'm fully expecting to demolish the Niners here. So hopefully that is what happens. And I'll see you guys in the wild card game where we're on the road to play a 7-10 team. So we best not lose, is all I'm saying. Don't even know who they're starting at quarterback. Dart. Oh, it's Jackson Dart. Okay, so Jackson Dart's the new starter for San Francisco. He better not come out here and torch us. And of course, he scores on his first drive. I think they may have gotten an interception on us, but Quinyon Mitchell has our back, which is good. And now we get another stop as they missed the field goal. All right, and now they're gonna. Did Jalen Hurts throw another interception? Thankfully, we bounced back from it though. We keep getting stops from blocking field goals, so that's good. And we will go on to win this game. So 21-14, but I believe Jalen Hurts tried to sell the game, if I'm not mistaken. Did he throw 2 picks? Because it damn sure looked like it. And he sure did. So he gave them great field position a couple times, but thankfully our defense held up. And now we're going to be moving on to divisional round, and we'll see who's awaiting us there. So I found out the reason why the Giants went 14-3. You'll see it in just a second. They signed Brock Purdy in free agency. So I guess Brock Purdy came to the Giants and then immediately became a juggernaut in the NFC, I guess. So we're on the road at MetLife to play the Giants, and we're good, looking to play spoiler against neighbors, Brock Purdy. So we'll see how this goes as they will start off with not getting any touchdowns on the board, but we'll respond with a field goal. Defense so far is playing great, 10-0 start. Are the Giants frauds is the question. And we're up 13-0 already. And now we're up 21-0. But they finally get a touchdown on the board. And they got another. Jalen Hurts, I need you to stop throwing them damn picks, man. We're up 20-14, thankfully. He's bounced back from it. And we're moving on. And the Giants are frauds. They're not a 14-3 team. We beat them on the road, 20-14, 2-possession game. And Hurts, I swear, man, did you throw another one? You did. You threw another pick. Time interception. Brock Purdy has 69 yards all game. How many times did this guy throw the damn ball? He threw it 16 times, and they must have ran it a lot with who? Who's their running back? It's Najee freaking Harris. Okay. So he had 2 attempts. So what did they do on offense? Wait. Yeah. What the hell did they do then? If Brock Purdy, I mean, I guess they just didn't have the ball very long is my assumption. All right. Well, we're moving on to the NFC Championship. We'll see who's there. And now for the NFC Championship on the road again, and we get to play a team that we beat in the playoffs last year, and that being the Vikings. So we played JJ McCarthy and the Vikings last year. Hopefully we get the same exact result. Bigger stages here. We played them in divisional, but we're going to go down 7-0, start things off, but we will respond with a touchdown. But they're scoring on our defense, which is definitely hurtful to see. But we get up 10. Okay, so we need to go score again, and our offense will put up a field goal. We go take the lead here, and we do 21-14. And the Vikings will get intercepted by Nick Bolton in the game. And we're moving on to the Super Bowl. What a big interception from our free agency edition at the beginning of the video. That is a great feeling. JJ McCarthy had a chance to tie it looked like. And Nick Bolton took it away. So I'll see y'all in the Super Bowl where hopefully this time we get another win. Because losing to the Titans, it still stings at this moment. That was horrible. So this is 3 Super Bowls in a row, at least appearing in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. Obviously, we fell short of going back-to-back last year, but we're hoping to get back in the win column and bring in another Lombardi as we get to play the Chargers. So Justin Herbert versus Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. Let's see if we can't get one on the Chargers, and they will start off 3-0. Can we please? Okay, so we get an interception from CJ Gardner-Johnson. That was a timely one, and now we're up 7-3. That was a big interception because it looked like they were about to take a 2-possession game. And now we will go up 3-10, and the Chargers will miss the extra point, I guess. Can we go score on this drive? And we do, 9-17. And now all they can do is call timeouts to try to, obviously soak the game away or, save the game. But honestly, this game looks all but over. All we need to do now is 1 first down, and this game is basically over. I mean, it's even over after that. They needed 8 points also, and they just didn't have it happen. Can I house this? No, there's plenty of defense here. So 1 first down, only 20 yards on the day for Saquon. I mean, the Chiefs did a great job on, clamping up, or taking care of Saquon yesterday too. And if you would have told people that Saquon was going to run for the amount of yards that he did yesterday, people would have thought the Chiefs were in great shape, but it didn't even matter. And now 2nd and 9, but I think we can ultimately just kneel this out. We don't even have to run it anymore, but I'm going to anyway, because why not? Because I don't do an Eagles rebuild very often, because obviously they don't need me to do one. So let's see. All right, that didn't work out either. So 3rd and 11, and now we can maybe just kneel this one if we want. Yeah, we can definitely kneel it. So we're done running the ball. I, just keep getting tackled for TFL. So gonna kneel this one last time, victory formation, and we'll be bringing another Super Bowl back to Philly. And I think we'll end it on that note. We could go and try to keep winning more and more, but I think the Eagles, obviously, like I said, 3, I think in the last 10 years or whatever. So very good stuff for Philadelphia. They have to be very, very happy about that, and they're going to be here for quite some time. Philadelphia is going to be the ultimate threat in the NFC, and we shall see if anybody's able to dethrone them or not. So thank you guys for watching another Gatorade Splash for Nick Sirianni, and I'm going to end it on that one. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.